By now, everybody knows about Mitch McConnell and his health problems. Now, mind you, I'm not being sympathetic, because quite frankly, the man is a terrible senator and a terrible American. This is a man who, in the state of Kentucky, which he represents as senator, now I can attest to this because I was raised in Kentucky, has done nothing for the people of Kentucky. The roads are bad, the economy is terrible, and the only reason why he's still a senator now for years in that state is because the people of Kentucky, a good portion of them, don't know any better. They vote against their own self-interest because they would rather vote for someone who won't work for them than someone else of another party or another color. Not to mention the Obama years. When Barack Obama was president and another seat for the Supreme Court was open, Mitch McConnell did everything he could to block Obama from nominating another member of the Supreme Court, which is what we have now, with Republicans dominating the Supreme Court, and you see the obvious results of all that. The Supreme Court stripping away our rights one by one, giving Donald Trump unprecedented power, but at times, like the birthright citizenship situation, keeping him in check at times. I belabor all this to say that as much as I dislike Mitch McConnell, the last thing I ever want is for ill will to approach him. I want him, like Donald Trump and the rest of the Republican Party and the MAGA, to be disgraced, to be destroyed. But I do not want ill will upon them. By now, everybody knows that Mitch McConnell has been in the hospital for the last few weeks, apparently suffering from a cardiac episode. The man is over 80 years old. The fact of the matter is that he is a very old man and he is suffering from some very serious ailments. But never will I ever rejoice on that. And neither will I try to lie to the entire country about how he's really doing, which is exactly what the Republican Party is doing right now. Now, we don't know how he's doing or how he's progressing medically, but according to the Republican Party and people in their sycophants, he's doing just fine. He's a picture of health. They've had over a half-hour conversations with them over the phone. Scott Jennings going on CNN talking about how they had made, how they talked about the history of the country, the history of the Senate, the Iranian war, how multiple Republicans are going on Twitter saying that he's just fine, he's A-OK, knowing full well that he's not. They're terrified, not only at the prospect of what's going to happen in the midterms, but they're terrified of what's going to happen now. Governor Andy Beshear, Democrat of the state of Kentucky, gave this note to Mitch McConnell, basically saying, how you doing, what's really going on, are you okay medically and everything else, let us know. The fact is, we need to know right now. But the Republican Party is terrified that if something is really wrong with Mitch McConnell, and we've seen signs that there's something very wrong, freezing in front of committee meetings, and not to mention press conferences, his repeated falls, and now a cardiac arrest event. We need to know if he's okay. Not just for the fact of politics, but for the fact of humanity. But the Republican Party is willing to pretty much do a weekend at Bernie's with this guy. If you don't know, you should watch the movie Weekend at Bernie's. They're willing to cart out a carcass and pretend that everything's A-okay. Frankly, in my view, is a damn disgrace. It's a disgrace because you're so scared of losing another Senate seat. You could care less about Mitch McConnell, regardless if you worked with him like Scott Jennings had. You could care less about the man and care more about your pathetic hold in the Senate. Let's get something straight. Regardless what happens in the midterms, you doing this shows how deceitful and pathetic you really are. I hope that Mitch McConnell is okay. Now, despite what I said earlier, I still have no love for this man. He has done everything he can to pull this country down. He's done nothing for the state of Kentucky and its people. And like I said earlier, I can attest to that. But the truth of the matter is, I wish no ill will on him. But the Republicans couldn't care less if he was alive or dead, as long as they can hold on to power. And that's pathetic. CTP, no truth, God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share my videos.